I won't resign over jailbreaks, Minister of Interior tells critics. Lagos shocks Ojuju Grammar School after trailer killed several school children. And federal government exploration of some COVID-19 vaccines. We're glad to have you join us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, on Wednesday says it would not resign from office despite incessant attacks on the nation's custodial facilities across the country in the past 1 year. Briefing State House correspondents at the end of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja. Aregbesola said that the attacks did not take place successfully for lack of preparation, while assuring that the federal government is doing all that is necessary to prevent a reoccurrence. The minister explained that there are many factors responsible for the attacks, including the security situation in the country.
Yes, as contextual as these attacks and the successes such criminals are having we are upping our game, and we will not allow, we will prevent any such opportunistic attack and even make it impossible. And that is what the state must do. We are working with all arms of government, particularly in security, to make our custodial facilities impregnable. We will not rest until that is achieved. So that's assurance I want to give Nigerians. As to whether it calls for my resignation, I still don't see any need for that, because it is not for lack of preparedness that the attacks were successful. No.
The Sokoto State Police Commissioner Kamaluddin Okwala has confirmed 23 deaths following an attack on travelers in Angwan Bawa, Sabon Birni local government area of Sokoto State. It confirmed the figure shortly after briefing Governor Aminu Tambuwal in an emergency security meeting summoned by the governor on Wednesday. The CP described the incident as unfortunate, noting that security personnel have been mobilized to the area to fish out the perpetrators and prevent a reoccurrence. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday conducted the official takeoff of the planned $300 million African Medical Center of Excellence to be implemented in Abuja by the African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank. At the event, which he attended virtually, the president would decry the rising cases of non-communicable disease like cancer, noted that West African countries lack the wherewithal to deal with such ailments. Our correspondent, Simisola Adigun, tells us more in this report.
Africa has over the years made some giant strides across various spheres of human endeavors. Unfortunately, the health sector has not kept pace with the changing needs of the African people, leading to the prevalence of avoidable deaths and medical tourism. Speaking virtually at the launch of the medical center, President Muhammadu Buhari, who decried the state of the healthcare system in Africa, says he believes the success of the medical center will pave a way for future investments.
The government of Nigeria has partnered with Afrexim Bank to develop the African Medical Center of Excellence in Abuja, which will provide world-class medical services at par with the world's best hospitals. The African Medical Center of Excellence, a 500-bed specialist facility, will provide services in the areas of oncology, cardiology, and hematology, and will seek to address the significant shortage of clinical care options in the West African sub-region.
With lessons learned from the continent's fight to curb COVID-19, President of the African Export-Import Bank says the construction of the medical center will help Africa fight the outbreak of future pandemics and help save $7 billion spent annually on medical tourism.
It is unacceptable that more than 300,000 Africans travel to Asia alone annually for medical services, spending over $5 billion US dollars each year. Nigeria accounts for $1 billion of that expenditure in Asia. Not only is the outflow of scarce African foreign exchange resources worrying, but the free export of African health data also poses a grave threat to continental security.
Minister of Health Osage Ehanire expressed optimism that the coming of the African Medical Center of Excellence will instill in Nigerians the culture of management and sustainability.
If there's anything that we need in this country, is facility management. That's where we have a lot to learn. Here in Nigeria, we have many tertiary hospitals, and it is in the area of management, modern management, sustainability, that we are going to be working very closely with you to learn from your experience of over 200 years.
The first African Medical Center of Excellence, ABUJA, is expected to enhance service exports by providing healthcare to over 50,000 people annually, create employment of over 3,000 jobs during its construction and operational phases, and conserve foreign exchange. Semisola Adigun, TV360 News.
The Nigerian Senate has considered a bill seeking to amend the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. The Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 Amendment Bill 2020, which scheduled second reading during Wednesday's plenary, was sponsored by Senate Chief Whip Orji Uzokalu. The bill seeks to amend the sections contradicting the principles of fair hearing and court jurisdiction as provided in the Constitution. Lawmaker says, when passed, will further avert some loggerheads between the Administration of Criminal Justice Act and the Constitution.
It has become imperative for this House to amend the entire Administration of Criminal Justice Act. It is not just about some section as mentioned here by the proposer of this bill. We need to amend the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. It was passed in a hurry, and there are a lot of mistakes that are involved. People have been unjustly convicted because of the mistakes that have been found in this, but because they have not been challenged up to the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Law provides in section 1.1 as follows: this Constitution is supreme, and its provision shall have binding force on all authorities and persons throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Therefore, the Administration of Criminal Justice Act shall also conform with the supreme provision of the Constitution 1999 as amended.
A bill for an act to amend the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and for other related matters 2021, second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters to report by within 4 weeks.
President of the Senate, Hamad Lawan, has called on the federal government to penalize indigenous oil companies responsible for the devastation of host communities where they operate. Lawan made a call in his concluding remarks after the Senate considered a motion on the urgent need to stop the continuous crude oil and gas blowout spill at Santa Barbara Well 1, operated by Aito Eastern Exploration and Production Company Limited in Oponembe, Bayelsa State. Senator Biobara Kumed Deji noted with concern the continuous degradation of host communities.
Attempts to stop the continuous oil and gas spill by the operators had failed repeatedly for over 1 month running, wasting an estimated over 2 million barrels of hydrocarbon and gas. Shows a disappointing appearance of technical incompetence in handling the incident on the part of ITO Eastern Exploration and Production Company of Nigeria Limited.
Let the Senate take a decisive decision on what to do so that we can curb the excesses of this pollution everywhere. They are just there. We will talk about so many of the where the first oil well was discovered and abandoned since this day, and that one has been a problem.
Reports. In his ruling, the Senate President said the National Assembly will insist that companies operating in host communities must carry out their corporate social responsibilities as prescribed by law.
Whether it is an indigenous oil company or international oil company, that the companies must be responsible to the communities and to us as a nation, because this is devastation of the lives and ecosystems in that part of the country. And I believe that this particular case should be made to be an example of what government and its agencies can do, not only to remedy, to force the alleged culprit to remedy the environment, but also to penalize the oil company for devastating the lives of the people in that area.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Victor OSIMHEN back in training after injury. Details of the story and more right after this break.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Corruption not in my country.
That was a very good business. Yeah. The furniture you brought was very perfect.
But that's how we roll.
Let me do you receipts.
Yeah. How much was it again?
1 million naira.
Okay, write 2.5.
The deal was for 1 million naira now.
Okay, write 3 million. I'll give you 500.
Oh no, I don't do business like that now. Yeah.
In that case, give me back my check. Let me go and look for someone that understand business.
Take.
Your loss.
It is only for incorruptible customers. What are you talking?
Now get out.
What kind of this?
You will just die.
No, you will die. That is the door. Now get out from here.
Rubbish.
Look, my people, make we only add money for original invoice price. That's not corruption. Say no, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Now, here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, on Wednesday says it would not resign from office despite incessant attacks on the nation's custodial facilities across the country in the past 1 year, while assuring that the federal government is doing all that is necessary to prevent a reoccurrence. The minister explained that there are many factors responsible for the attacks, including the security situation in the country. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. The federal government has confirmed that within the last month, some COVID-19 vaccines expired in the country. The minister made this known following report that up to 1 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine expired in the country last month without being used. In a statement on Wednesday, the Minister of Health, Osagie-Ehanire, said the vaccines have been withdrawn and will be destroyed by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. Ehanire, however, assured that the government has been handling the situation effectively, upholding the greater standards for the safety of all Nigerians. Well, joining me now to discuss this further is medical expert Philip Njemanze. Thank you so much for joining us on News Now. What do you make of the reports by Reuters detailing how up to 1 million COVID-19 vaccines got expired? Now, we seem to have lost Dr. Njemanze, but hopefully we'll get back to him at some time in the news bulletin. Well, moving on now, Pfizer and BioNTech have said a booster jab of their COVID-19 vaccine promises to be an effective defense against the new Omicron variant. In a statement on Wednesday, Pfizer Chief Executive Albert Bourla said the vaccine is still effective in preventing the Omicron variant if administered 3 times, but warned that the variant will not be neutralized after only 2 doses. The drug makers also said that Omicron-specific version of the anti-coronavirus vaccine currently in development by BioNTech would be available by March 2022. Now, we're now joined again by Dr. Njemanze. Thank you so much for standing by. Now, on the issue of the up to 1 million COVID-19 vaccines that got expired last month, what do you make of this?
Really an unfortunate incident, and the explanation of the Nigerian government that the shelf life was very short. This we encounter in normal practice, that the shelf life of a medication can be very short, and with vaccines, this will be very, very unfortunate. So I actually accept the explanation of the Nigerian government that the shelf life probably when it was shipped from the company was very short, that in that very short time it couldn't be utilized. Again, the whole attitude about the vaccine and the resulting vaccine hesitancy was also something to be blamed, because when you mandate vaccines, you also immediately trigger off hesitancy. And this is really unfortunate, because if people were coming forward, probably we would have used up this vaccine within a very short time. So I think the whole attitude towards the vaccination should change, and we should return to the normal bioethical practice of voluntary treatment. And this will actually recruit more people and convince more people to have their vaccine shots in a very short time, rather than the mandatory compulsory vaccination, which really triggers hesitancy, and there is no way of overcoming such incidents as this.
Now, you've made mention of the fact that this might actually, affect vaccine hesitancy, as we've recorded in the past year. But moving forward, do you think this would seal the deal with regards to Nigerians feeling a little bit of hesitation to take the vaccine shot?
Yes, actually, this is all bad policy. It started with the mandates. Once you introduce the mandates, you change the nature of medicine from what is purely a medical measure into a human rights problem, because are you going to force people to take treatment? And that's purely a human rights issue. So I think this type of news will actually even make people more hesitant to take the vaccine. And that's really unfortunate. So the whole attitude towards the vaccination process should change, and we must move away from these vaccine mandates.
Many thanks, Dr. Njemanze, for your time. Now we'll take a short break here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us.
Mr. John! Mr. John! What is it now?
What is it now?
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. What's wrong with you? Is there another person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just expecting you, sir. You remember, I've paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining, because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, the transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you, and I. This, your selfishness, is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption,
not in my country.
Go to your bank.
Corruption not in my country.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Students of Babs Fafunwa Millennium Secondary School, Ogba in Lagos State, accompanied by some of their parents, flooded the school on Wednesday to protest the death of their mates. This was after a truck driven by one Bolaji Kabiru rammed into students of the school on Tuesday, killing 2, with many others sustaining varying degrees of injuries. In the midst of heavy security presence, parents and students alike expressed displeasure about the unfortunate incident. Our correspondent, ABIY, has the details in this next report.
It was a black Tuesday afternoon in the Ojodu-Bega area of Lagos when a fleeing truck rammed into students of Fafunwa Millennium School, killing an unconfirmed number of students. While some witnesses attributed the incident to brake failure, others blamed it on officials of the Federal Road Safety Corps who regularly mount stop-and-search operations on the road. Less than 24 hours later, parents and students in the school stormed the premises in their numbers to protest the unfortunate incident.
They were chasing the truck to the place where the incident happened. Imagine that situation. The reports that the brakes failed is a lie. The students were showing agitations about their dead classmates, and some police officers were even shooting tear gas to hurt them. It's not fair.
Me and some men
decide to come into the school premises to come and tell them that they should not allow the student to go out, that they are shooting straight bullets there. They want to kill our future leader. What's happening in this country? We don't understand.
Due to speculations of its officers' involvement in the incident, the FRAC headquarters, which is about 1 kilometer away from the accident scene, was under lock and key. Officials of the corps could be seen hanging around the mufti for fear of being lynched by angry protesters. Speaking on the situation, Deputy Corps Commander of the Corps denied the involvement of its officers in the incident, saying on the contrary, they only made frantic efforts in the rescue operations.
Maybe they saw our patrol car doing the rescue, and passerbys would always assume as if it is road safety that caused the accident. And that's what the misinformation that have spread all around the corner, telling people. There's no how, because this person, when he was called, according to him, it took him 7 minutes to get to the scene of the accident. And I was equally told by our public enlightenment education officer that a woman testified that she was driving behind the truck and that the truck man had an issue with this Korokwe bus right from Zenith Bank side at Ojodu. So maybe trying to stop the Korokwe man by force and all that, it was in the process he lost control, rammed on this thing, and the Korokwe man escaped.
Councillors of the Ojodu Local Council Development Area commiserated with families and friends of the victims, urging drivers to be careful to avoid the recurrence of such situation.
We feel so bad, you know, we are also parents, we are fathers, we are mothers, and we feel so bad that that could happen. It could have been anybody's children, could have been anybody's child, you know. But again, we have to take, you know, we have also talked about the drivers on the highway. When you're on the highway, anything could happen. I don't even know specifically what led to the accident.
The parents feel the children are not safe being here today, that they should be allowed to stay at home. Maybe the government should reschedule the examination timetable. At least, if they didn't sit for examination today, it won't stop anything. Shall you understand? So I think by now, the state governor and all other bodies responsible for the examination exercise should be meeting by now to bring out a lasting solution to this.
Although details about the number of casualties are still sketchy, the Lagos state government has officially shut down the school until January 2022, adding that it will at a later time release an explicit statement containing an official death count and more details about what led to the tragic incident. Abisola Adebayo, TV360 News.
Well, up next is business news and stock market review with Simi Saladigo. Over to you, Simi.
Thank you very much, Falashade. On business, the Debt Management Office, DMO, says it raised over $15 billion through Eurobonds and a $300 million diaspora bond, which stood as necessary support to foreign exchange. This was disclosed by the Director General of the DMO, Patience Ohia, to the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debts, while revealing that the over $15 billion was raised from external borrowings between January 2011 and September 2021. Ohia said the new borrowings are in compliance with legislations and public debt management requirements. She further added that about 90% of the year's borrowings have been achieved through various securities. We'll take a short break now and be back with Stock Market Report. Welcome to Stock Market Report. Equities market closed on a positive note as all-share index appreciated by 0.99% to close at 42,435 basis points, valued at over 7 million naira, exchanging hands in 3,757 deals. The gainers list is led by Living Trust Mortgage Bank PLC, going up from 88 kobo to 96 kobo, while Mayor went up from 26 kobo in last trading session to 28 kobo, arriving at a combined gain of 1 naira 24 kobo. On the losers counter, Cutics went down from 2 naira 89 kobo in last trading session to 2 naira 61 kobo. Royal X, on the other hand, saw a reduction from 62 kobo to 57 kobo today, ending with a combined loss of 3 naira 18 kobo loss. Now, on the global market scene, we see now that that's the FTSE Dow Jones and Nikkei. The FTSE had a bad trading day, ending in the red at 0.015%. The Dow Jones also in the red at 0.24%, while the Nikkei had a good trading day, ending in the greens at 1.42%. That's it on stock market report. Back to Folashade for the rest of the news.
Oh, many thanks to Ms. La for that update. On the foreign scene, Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has announced that he will return to Addis Ababa from the battlefront after pro-government forces claimed major advances in their fight against Tigrayan rebels. The government on Monday announced that pro-Abiy forces had retaken the strategic towns of Dize and Kombolacha, the latest town in the 13-month-old war. The fighting has killed thousands of people, displaced more than 2 million, and driven hundreds of thousands into famine-like conditions, according to UN estimates. And now to the sporting scene. Super Eagles striker Victor OSIMHEN has made a swift return to training after suffering a facial injury in a league game in the Italian Serie A. OSIMHEN suffered a left cheekbone and orbital fracture in Napoli's Serie A clash against Inter Milan on November 21st and was ruled out of action for 3 months. The 22-year-old underwent a successful but complicated surgery afterwards. Napoli confirmed OSIMHEN's return to training on their Twitter handle on Wednesday. While OSIMHEN's impending return to action is good news for Napoli, it is equally fantastic news for the Super Eagles ahead of next year's Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Cameroon. And that's it on our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade. Green Day. Bye for now.